Hello, I'm Shashank and today we will understand another topic in reasoning. Let us look at some of the statements and try to understand the logic behind the construction of these sentences. Dhoni plays cricket and he is a batsman. I will study quants or I will study verbal. Don't try to judge the truthfulness of the sentences. I know nobody studies these subjects. Okay, coming back to the sentences, the third sentence is, if I go to the gym, then I will stay fit. If you observe each statement closely, you will notice some of the words which are highlighted. They are connecting, or we can say tying up two different sentences, and they also give them a logical meaning. These types of words are known as logical connectives. For a moment, let us remove the connective and try to break the statement into two different sentences. Dhoni plays cricket, he is a batsman. No connective is attached with this sentence. They are so simple that we call these types of sentences as simple sentences. And when two simple sentences are joined using a logical connective, they form a compound sentence. Okay. Let us look at one more statement. If sun rises in the north, then Sachin hits a 6. Here we have a very impractical situation. Sun rises in the north does not make any sense. But if we look at this statement from logic point of view, there are two simple sentences and they are even connected via logical connective. This condition is sufficient enough to make this a logically valid statement. In logic, we deal with the statements that are a part of the English language, but we are not concerned about the genuineness of the sentences. Whenever we talk about logic, we only mean the logical correctness of the statement. Let's start understanding the basics of logical connectives. Negation. Negation is nothing but making something negative. Negation of 2 would be -2. As simple as that. I will study reasoning. Its negation would be, I will not study reasoning. Very simple, right? Romit will pass in the exam. Its negation would be, Romit will not pass in the exam. But wait, what if I say that Romit will fail in the exam? This is basically the equivalent of the statement, Romit will not pass in the exam. So while making negation of any statement, just remember one thing. We are making the opposite of the given statement. It can be in any of the forms as we just discussed. One last thing, negation of a negative statement would result in a positive statement. For example, negation of I will not study reasoning will become I will study reasoning. Romit will not pass in the exam will become Romit will pass in the exam. Coming to the first connective that we need to understand in this topic, logical connective or. He is sad or he is playing cricket. Either he is sad or he is playing cricket. The word either does not make any difference to the sentence. We all know the conclusion or say implications of this statement, that is, any one of the statement is true. But what we don't understand here is that both the cases can take place simultaneously. He is playing cricket, but maybe he is sad from inside. So, both the sentences can be true at the same time. But whenever it is stated in the question that both the statements cannot be correct at the same time, then we can ignore the third conclusion. Just remember one thing while solving questions of this type. At least one statement is true. Let us now look at the other approach of solving these types of questions. Consider the same statement again. He is sad or he is playing cricket. Consider he is sad as P, he is playing cricket as Q. After considering the statement in terms of symbols, it becomes as either P or Q or simply P or Q. When P or Q is given, then at least one statement has to be true. Therefore, negation of one statement means the second statement has to be true in order to make the compound statement true. Hence, negation P will imply Q and negation Q will imply P. Let us take one more statement. He is dead or he is alive. According to what we have learned till now, we can draw three implications from this statement. First, he is dead. Second, he is alive. Third, he is both dead and alive. Now here, the third point might create confusion for some of you. But if it is the case, then you are using extra information that a person cannot be dead and alive at the same time. This is not given in the question. In logic, we only give emphasis on the information that is given in the question. We are not allowed to assume anything extra that is outside the information given to us. Let's take an example. Each question has a main statement and we have to select a matching one from the four options given. Let's say we choose A, C. Then A should imply C and AC should be logically same as the main statement given in the question. One more thing, if AC is given to us as an ordered pair, then AC will not be equivalent to CA. The batsman is out or the decision is wrong. Here in the main statement, we can see that there are two simple sentences connected by a logical connective OR. The other statement are simple sentences. And we have to choose the ordered pair among the four choices given to us. For the sake of convenience, let us write down all the option choices in the statement form. Okay, let us try to figure out an easier approach for these types of questions. Consider the batsman is out as P, the decision is wrong as Q. As discussed, if two statements are connected by OR, then at least one of the two statements has to be correct. Whenever one statement, that is either P or Q, is given as true, then we cannot conclude anything about the other statement. Also, if P or Q is negated, then other statement has to be true, cause at least one of the statement has to be true. Therefore, negation of P implying Q and negation of Q implying P has to be our answer. Here in this question, let's try to denote the options in P and Q form. First option is P implies Q. This is wrong. Second is negation Q implies negation P. This too is wrong. Third option, the batsman is not out. This is negation P. And the decision is wrong, is Q. So we have negation P implying Q, which should be the correct answer. Fourth option is also wrong. It gives P implies negation Q. The second deduction that we saw in the case of OR was negation Q implying P. This gives us the decision is correct, the batsman is out. That is combination DA. It would have been a correct answer if it was given in the options. Now let's move to the next and the easiest connective, AND. Connective AND is the most basic among all the connectives. Here both the simple sentences present have to be true in order to justify the truthfulness of the compound statement. It is raining and I will dance. Here let's consider it is raining as P, I will dance as Q. If P is true and Q is true as well, then only the main statement would be true. If any one of them is false, then logic cannot be derived and the whole statement will not be consistent with the main statement. Now let us look at the negation of connective OR. Let's consider an example to understand it. I drink or I smoke. Or you can also read it as either I drink or I smoke. As discussed, this either word does not add any difference to the main statement. Now there are three implications from this. I drink, I smoke, I do both. Our main statement can be transformed into P or Q. Now, if I want to negate this whole statement at once, That is, if I want negation P or Q, then the result will consist of each of the individual statements negated. That means I don't drink and I don't smoke. In this case, both the negated individual statements will be connected using a connective AND. Negation P and negation Q. Negation of either or can also be taken as neither nor, which means same as discussed above. Similarly, for connective AND, that is negation of P and Q. This means I don't do both. Neither I drink nor I smoke. It will result in negation P or negation Q. Remember the rule. Or becomes and becomes or. This is known as De Morgan's law of compound statement. Moving on to the next and the most important connective of this topic. Connective if then. Let's start it by taking an example. If it is Sunday, then I will watch a movie. Or say, I will watch a movie if it is Sunday. They both have the same meaning. Just be precautious while assuming P and Q. We are considering it is Sunday as P and the other one as Q. Same goes with the second statement. So, the first one is if P then Q and the second one is Q if P. Also, when P then Q, whenever P then Q, every time, each time, they all have the same meaning. So, no matter how the statement is constructed, its implication will always remain the same. Let's verify different deductions obtained from this sentence given to us. That is, if it is Sunday, then I will watch a movie. If we write it in terms of P and Q, then it becomes P implies Q. Now, this is a direct implication. It is given in the statement. So, this will be always true. If today is a Sunday, then it is guaranteed that I will watch a movie. But suppose if it is not a Sunday, can you conclude that I did not watch a movie? Think twice before reaching to any conclusion. I can watch a movie any time I feel like watching it. It is not mandatory that I will only watch a movie on Sunday. I can watch a movie daily or I may not watch a movie except on Sundays. So, we cannot conclude anything about Q if P is given to us as a false statement. Taking the next case. Now, suppose that it is given that I am watching a movie. Can you conclude that it is a Sunday? Obviously not. As discussed for the previous case, I can watch a movie on any day of the week. So easily we can say that if Q is given as a true sentence, then we cannot conclude anything about the other statement, that is P. Coming to the last case. If Q is given as the false statement, that is negation Q is given, can we conclude anything about P? I did not watch a movie. Can we conclude anything about P? That is whether it is a Sunday or not. If we look at the first three implications, then we can say that I can watch a movie on any day of the week. But it is guaranteed that I will watch a movie if it is a Sunday. Here it's given that I did not watch a movie. So we can easily conclude that it must not be a Sunday. If it were a Sunday, then it is definite that I would watch a movie. So negation Q will definitely result in negation P. So while solving questions in exam, we just have to look for two implications. That is, P implies Q and negation Q implies negation P. If a question is given with 4 option choices and in any of the options, if P is followed by Q or if negation Q is followed by negation P, we can easily pick any one of them as our answer choice. Now suppose if I change the statement a little bit. Only if it is a Sunday, then I will watch a movie. Or else it can also be written as I will watch a movie only if it is a Sunday. If we write it in terms of P and Q, then it becomes only if P, then Q. Or say Q only if P. They both mean the same. So the statement only if it is a Sunday then I will watch a movie will mean that I will only watch a movie on Sunday. I will not watch a movie on any other day of the week. Let's take the possible cases one by one. Suppose it is given that it is a Sunday. Is it necessary that I will watch a movie? No, it's not. The statement says that I will watch a movie only if it is a Sunday. But it does not tell us that if it is a Sunday, then it is mandatory for me to watch a movie. I may or may not watch a movie on Sunday. So, if P is given to us as a true statement, then we cannot conclude anything about Q. But if it is given that I am watching a movie, can we conclude that it is a Sunday? Yes, it has to be a Sunday because it is clearly stated that I watch a movie only on Sunday. I do not watch a movie on any other day of the week. So we can say that if Q is given to be a true statement, then P is definitely true. Now, suppose it is given that it is not a Sunday. Then also we can say that I will not watch a movie. That takes us to the third implication for this connective. That is, if P is not true, then Q is also not true. Negation P will imply negation Q. Let's take the last case. I am not watching a movie. Can we conclude that it's a Sunday or not? Let's go back to the first case that we took. It was given that it's a Sunday, but we were not able to conclude that whether I was watching the movie or not, because I could do 17 other things on Sunday instead of watching a movie. Same applies for this case. If I am not watching a movie, then we cannot say that whether it's a Sunday or not. If Q is given as a false statement, then we cannot say anything about P. It may or may not be correct. Negation Q does not imply negation P. In short, we can say that implications of only if are just opposite to the implications that we drew for the connective if then. Let's consider one more type of if then connective. If and only if. It is represented as IFF and symbolically it is represented using a left-right arrow, meaning one sentence will result in the implication of the other. It's like Imran Hashmi's song in Mr. X, "Tu jo hai, to main hoon." It's a Sunday means I am watching a movie. I am watching a movie means it's a Sunday. If it's not a Sunday, that means I am not watching a movie. I am not watching a movie means it is not a Sunday. Very simple, right? Next is unless. Unless I come to Goa, I will not meet you. Unless P, then Q, or Q unless P. It means that till the time I do not come to Goa, I will not meet you. So it directly leads us to the first implication that negation P will imply Q. I will not meet you is Q. But what if it is given that I came to Goa? This is our second implication. Does this mean that I will necessarily meet you? Maybe I came to Goa, I partied and went back without meeting you. Me coming to Goa does not necessarily mean that I met you. So, if P is given as a true statement, then we cannot conclude anything about Q. Now, third case is that I met you. What does this mean? Simple meaning is that if I am meeting you means that I came to Goa. Negation of Q will imply P. But again, say suppose I didn't meet you. Last case. Q is given as true. So can we conclude anything about P? Simply no. I may have come to Goa or not as discussed in the second case. So while solving questions based on connective unless then, just remember to check these two implications. That is, negation P leads to Q and negation Q leads to P. With this, we have completed all the basics that are required to solve questions on logical connectives. In the next video of logical connectives, we will learn to solve questions when more than one connective is involved in any statement. Thank you.